Good morning, folks. December 2nd, and welcome to the Shorty for the Snow Church. Going to try to keep this thing under, well, maybe 3 or 4 minutes or so. So let's get started. Quiet day yesterday in the central United States anyway. Look at the west, pounded Sierras. Now, if you looked at my seasonal forecast, I was saying how thought it'd be another bad year for the Sierras. Well, so far, not the case. But quiet across the Midwest. We can jump to the latest radar. Jump with me board, okay. And we start to see a little bit of snow. Most of this stuff, like yesterday's, isn't quite reaching the ground yet. So, but it will be. We can look at my forecast real quick here. Got the first of what looks to be 3 weak systems to come through. Actually, second. Am I doing this right? No, the first, because we got one today. Still got one for Monday. And then another one for about Wednesday. And then the forecast gets all cattywampus as we get towards the end of next week and the following weekend. Talk about that in just a little bit. But for today, things will be pretty quiet during the day. And then later in the day, the snows will start hitting the ground across areas of the far northwest Midwest, and then work their way into the rest of the upper Midwest as we go through the night tonight and finish up tomorrow. You know, it's looking like about 1 to 2 inches in most of these second level shaded areas. The first level, an inch or less. The exceptions will be the western UP, where the lake will be helping out a little bit in the snowfall production. Not a ton, but we might add another 2, 3, 4 inches of lake effect, especially in the Keweenaw, or basically Houghton and Keweenaw counties. Just slowly adding to things. Quiet for most of tomorrow, like I say, except for the snow is finishing up in the Great Lakes area, especially the lake effect snow belts, and especially the Keweenaw tomorrow morning. And then Sunday's quiet. We get the next system in Monday. That one still looks to be about an inch or so at this point. Is really disorganized and really doesn't have a whole lot of moisture with it. So not expecting much out of that. But, you know, take any snow we can get at this point. Really, take any snow we can get all winter long. Today's going to be the only day where the Northwoods will be above the freezing mark for daytime highs, which is good too. And then that trend will actually continue into all of next week as well, meaning just about all of the Northwoods. It looks like lower Michigan, much of lower Michigan, will find their way up above freezing couple of days next week. All right, so the 5 to 8 day forecast, which ends Thursday, I think, December 9th. It really hasn't changed much from yesterday. We're still looking at about a couple of inches of snow, 1 to 4 inches of snow or so, with another clipper type system on Wednesday. The models don't have things dialed in perfectly as far as the placement and the timing of the snow. This is sort of a generality or kind of a blend between all the different solutions. But the bottom line is this doesn't look like a big, huge snow event. And it also looks like the snows will be kind of on the wet side. And then beyond that, things get all mixed up in the models. Let's jump to the models. I can show you what I'm talking about. Here is the European models snowfall prognostication. I'm just going to kind of run through this. Here is tonight's snow, or the next 24 hours snow. Then in comes Monday's snow, not much of a factor. Now we're going to see Wednesday's snow start to show up in these areas. And then pretty quiet until we get way towards the end. And then look at here. We start to see some snows breaking out southwestern Minnesota. And then they really will expand to the north and east across, well, a good chunk of Minnesota, northwestern Wisconsin, and a good chunk of the UP. So watch how that fills in across there. Talking about maybe 3 to 7 inches of snow with that event, and it would also be a pretty wet and heavy system snow, a good base producing snow. So we'll see if that happens. Now to the other idea. This is the GFS model. This is the American model. Again, we'll just sort of slide through the next 7 days, 8 days or so. Take us out to, all right, this is Thursday evening. Now, watch what happens in eastern Iowa, northern Illinois, far southern Wisconsin, and then into northern Indiana and Ohio. This would be for like Thursday night into Friday. Whoa, what's that? All right, that's the GFS's idea of what will happen the end of next week. Again, the Europeans is more like a Saturday event, whereas the GFS is a Thursday event. Pick your poison. I have no reason to side with one idea over the other. I know which one I would prefer, not this one, selfishly, but at any rate, that's what we're looking at. And you can see more snows for the west. So for you folks wanting to go out west or planning to go out west, pretty good news. And, you know, for the Northwoods, it's not a disaster. You know, in fact, if I just take this out through the next 16 days, you can see how, you know, the Northwoods is supposed to get doses of light snow without any kind of major warm-ups. So it may be a slow process, but it does look like we'll be building the snowpack across the region in the next at least 10 days, maybe more than that. So that'll do it for this Shorty, December 2nd. Have a great weekend, everybody.